Anyway, let's go on ahead and get into it. So I want to touch on a particular individual who kind of highlights a form of housing racism or white supremacist, an actual white supremacist using housing as his tool of attack. So Sam Dixon is described as a former Ku Klux Klan attorney, active in extreme right causes with decades of ties to white supremacist groups. And, some of the, sources for this are the Southern Poverty Law Center.org, SPLC or SPLcenter.org, antifascistnews.net. Um, in 2005, there was a incident with Stephen Ogletree. In 2005, July, Dixon pressured investor Stephen Ogletree to undersell a Vine City property. After learning that Ogletree was black, Dixon said no black man was capable of such an investment and blew his cover, showed his hand, so to speak. Um, Dixon declared at a David Duke sponsored event that Negroes are hopeless, quote unquote, and stated, I like money, reflecting both overt racism and his intent to profit off of said black people. He found that it was profitable to target black people, especially those who had tax liens, and own titles to properties. So since 2001, Dixon amassed a multi-million dollar business acquiring tax liens and deeds, primarily targeting properties in black neighborhoods. He used bullying title tactics. So, industry insiders describe Dixon's aggressive acquisitions as bullying title, which is legal but ethically dubious manipulation using misinformation and urgency. Deborah Hobson harassment. So, in this instance, after purchasing the tax deed for her parents' Ormond Street property back in September of 2003, he pressured her with offers far below market value, like literally trying to offer her 1.5 thousand, 1,500 for a property that was at least 60,000, which is crazy. He even went so far to contact her injured sister, who was in the hospital, and left threatening letters. So, facing harassment, Hobson's family sold to another buyer for below market price just to avoid further dealings with Dixon. So I gotta just stop the joint right there, real quick. We can't fold under pressure. We gotta understand what something is when it's confronting us. This wasn't a harassing buyer. This was a racist real estate agent for all intents and purposes, or a lawyer operating as a real estate agent for all intents and purposes to get this black family out of a home that they, for all intents and purposes, own the rights to. Never let nobody bully you. And once again, knowing is half the battle. You got to know your rights as homeowners. If somebody's calling you, talking some shady stuff that sound halfway believable, reach out to your legitimate housing organizations in your city or state and report their ass. And that minimum, ask questions. Oh, well, the person on the phone said this or said that. The people at the legitimate state agencies will be like, no, that's a scam or that's a fraud. Don't fuck with them. You know what I mean? Y'all got to use common sense. And I'm sure in a lot of cases, these, just like regular dirt bags of other, flavors as far as scams that they use, a lot of them will target the elderly. So people who ain't on top of their mental faculties like they used to be, you know what I mean? So stuff like that you got to be aware of, not only for yourself, but shoot, your parents, your grandparents. All right. So anyway, back to this individual here. So basically, Dixon used misleading company names like Community Renewal and Redemption LLC and Toteberg Collections LLC to obscure his agenda. Aggressive property targeting. Dixon and Buckley pursued heirs in gentrifying black neighborhoods like Summerhill and Grant Park, leveraging fractured ownership dynamics. And then in the industry, it says real estate professionals like genealogist Andy Desmond called Dixon the terrorist of the Atlanta real estate community, citing his exploitative tactics. And despite widespread critique of his tactics, Dixon has not been disbarred or legally sanctioned. Dude went so far as to even donate $4,000 to basically a black led, corporation to mask his white supremacist ideology and leanings or whatever. But in the long story short, when these people calling about either tax liens or they calling pretending to be interested in your property and they trying to lowball and they talking all this crazy shit, get them niggas off the line. Period. You don't know what their agenda is. Do your own research. Look up this man, Sam Dixon. This dude is being invited to speak at, neo-Nazi events and neo-Confederate events. This is the man that's probably hitting your line trying to lowball you out of your home or scam you out of your home. Stay sharp. All right. Thank y'all for rocking with me, supporting the channel. If you're loving the content, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, hit the Cash App if you definitely feeling it. And even if you want to make special requests of future content that you would like to see me do videos on, that's what it's there for. Every dollar helps the channel grow bigger, better, quality over time. So with that said, I'll holla at y'all. Thank you. I appreciate it.